Oh, hello. Fancy seeing you here. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be in a couple of minutes as always. I just need to set a couple of things up and we will get started. Sit back, relax. I'll be right back. Okay, all right. Let's get going. Let's get this party on the road. How you doing? I hope you're having a great day today. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for joining me again. We had a successful Friday. We managed to implement a lot of stuff. And today will be about a couple of things. First, I'm pretty sure I broke a lot of the tests with all of the changes that I made to get things working, specifically on the middleware, I'm afraid. So we are going to go back into the test just to make sure that everything is green before we move on, which means we are going to fix the middleware tests and make sure that everything is okay on that front. And then I think the next thing I want to do is start working on the front end, like creating a new page, setting up some sort of UI or table that is going to hold all of the events that are currently being recorded in the database via the webhook, and try and show those on the screen. And from there, maybe we can take it into how am I going to play the messages on those events. So yeah, we're gonna get started on that. Just give me a second. Get hydrated right away. Okay. Just so you know where we are right now, let me open. Hello, bro. How you doing? I'm doing great, dude. How you doing? Thank you for joining me. I'm doing fantastic. I hope you're doing well as well. I'm gonna open Chrome here just to show off what we have so far. That'll be actually no, yeah, I need to open Chrome. Yes, panel, the test, dashboard. Interesting. Why is this going back to this state? I am supposed to be subscribed already. In fact, we can double check because I still have a bunch of code from last Friday, and there is a piece of code that I can use to get an auth token from Twitch for app credentials, or client credentials, sorry. And also I can use that token. You know, I think I'm not doing this in the component. I think that's the problem. I have a question. Have you paid the pro version of Hurt? No, I haven't. I haven't seen the need of it just yet. I'm using the free version. Because most of my local projects use SQLite, so I don't really need the database, the MySQL database. And if I even if I needed that, I think I'm smart enough to create my own server and just use it that way without having to pay that for the pro version. What were the other stuff that they're charging for? Hold on. Services. Oh, Redis. Okay, yeah. All of this I can install myself, so I don't need to pay for that. Mail, well, that's one of the things that could be useful, but then again, I'll probably use a free service for that, testing emails. Dumps, you have seen me doing dumps left and right, so I don't really need to pay for that either. And the debugger, I can modify the .ini files myself, and I already have the code snippet that will enable debugging automatically on my local applications. It's just a matter of uncommenting and recommenting those lines. So yeah, I don't really need any of those stuff, any of the stuff that is paid for. That might change in the future, I don't know, but for now I don't see the need to pay for the pro version. Yeah, I'm about to do that. I just want to find out. So, basically, what we have so far is the ability to connect my account and authorize Twitch to let me subscribe to events. That happens when you create a new account, and the first thing you see up here is a button saying sign in with Twitch. So that will allow you to sign in with Twitch and authorize an application that I created on the Twitch developers dashboard to have permissions to, in this case, react to channel point redemptions at this moment. So once you do that, you can go into, I added a section on the profile, which lets you basically make the connection of one of your URLs in this application, one of the URLs in this application, and give that to Twitch and say, whenever that channel point redemption happens, send a post request to this URL and I will handle it. And that's what we have so far. Last time we managed to make the connection, and I am actually subscribed to the Channel Point Redemption's event, and that's what I was going to show you after the ads. But yeah, we have the whole loop already in place. Basic loop and basic functionality, but from here on we can start building on top of that and adding more and more stuff. But at least we have the foundation of it, and from there we can go up. Cool. Oh, and I'm able to take the message from the Channel Point Redemption and turn it into a text-to-speech MP3 file using OpenAI, and that is being saved in both in the database and the file in the file system. No, I live in Central America. I am from Costa Rica. All right, ads are over. Here we go. So this method here, this few lines of code allows me to get a token from Twitch and then say, hey Twitch, what are the events that I'm subscribed to? So let's run that real quick and see the list. I'm gonna comment that out right there, because I'm pretty sure I am subscribed. I think the last one, I would change the A for an O at the end because I'm not a woman. But yeah, I am Latin. I speak Spanish basically as my first language. Here, you see, we have a connection enabled for the channel points custom reward redemption ad. That's the event. That's the status of the subscription, and the transport basically says this is a webhook, or we are going to send we're going to react to this event via webhooks. And the callback is actually, this is a randomly generated URL from Hertz Expose, which we're gonna have to create a new one before we move on and test more stuff. But let's figure out why the button here this is not showing, or actually is showing, because it shouldn't. Also, I could take a moment to delete all of the unsuccessful subscription events or subscription calls. You see, this one says verification failed. These were all fail attempts, so I can just take those and remove them, so I just have the one that is enabled in this array. For that, I have another call down here, which is it's a delete call. Let me uncomment this. It's a delete call to the Twitch API on the subscription endpoint, and all I have to pass in is the ID of the subscription event that I want to delete. In this case, I'm going to take this here and paste it there. I'm going to also comment this 2 lines, because I just need the access token and then make a request here. I'm going to enable this one too, just in case. All right, that will delete the first one. I'm actually going to copy all of them just so I don't have to go back and forth. I'm going to copy this. Let's go back here. And this one too, you go away, copy, and paste. I thought it was more than 2. Oh, yeah, this one. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3. All right. We are going to delete BB7. No response means it's okay. So this one's gone. Let's do the next one. Run. Good. And finally, this one. All right, so that means, let's comment this out again, go back to the request or the query. And if we run it now, we should have only one item in the array of data, and that is the only subscription that we have enabled. I will not lie to you, I hope you don't. I don't know how to write tests in Laravel. Yeah, it's not exactly something that everyone knows, and if you don't know how to, it's all right. I mean, I was in the same boat as you were not long ago. But I started to practice, and at first it's very hard because your mind is set on a different in a different way. Okay, all right, sure, be my guest, don't worry about it. Plenty to go around, don't worry. So yeah, it's very hard at first. It's kind of difficult because you have a different mindset about how to write code. And when you start doing tests, the recommended way that I would always say do it this way is use test-driven development, which is think about the test first before writing any code. And always write only the necessary amount of code to solve any problems. What you want at first is it's errors. You want something that fails so that you can solve that failure and then move to a different failure. And once you do that in a cycle, you end up with the beginnings of what your code should do. And once you have everything passing, then you go back and refactor, and now that you have a baseline of what should work, you can go back and refactor and make sure that what you fix or what you refactored does not break the basic functionality. And that's basically the whole cycle. It depends. I mean, you can, if you're new to testing, I would recommend you go with PHP unit, which is the default testing. Well, you have an option. You can go with pest or the other one. I would recommend start with the other one because that way you get familiar with it. And once you're familiar with testing and what tests you can run and what are the assertions that you can use in a test, etc., then switch to pest, and you will have a much better time doing it in that order, I think. As to which one is the best, I would say they are both really good. I mean, they will get the job done. So it's a matter of preference at that point. If you prefer the API and the fluid, the fluidity of PEST, then by all means just go straight to PEST. If you like a more object-oriented approach instead of an API approach, then go with PHP Unit. All right, let's solve this puzzle first. Why is this button showing up? I think it's because let me check real quick the status of the account. I think that was the one thing that decides if this is showing up. Let's comment this out. Go back up here and we can use Twitch account all. We have only one record, and yeah, okay, that's why. When the webhook, once the verification challenged, let me put it this way. When we requested a subscription to Twitch, Twitch is supposed to call the webhook that we're providing just to make sure that that webhook belongs to us and that we are able to respond accordingly with a good response, basically. When that happens, I was supposed to take that event, respond to Twitch, and also update my own database to say, okay, everything is fine. The verification is enabled, the subscription is enabled, and everything looks good. So I forgot that I forgot to update this column in that event. So a verification event should update this column, and it's not doing it. So let's go and take a look at the code first and come up with a test second. So this all happens in Twitch controller, I believe. No? Oh yeah, Twitch controller, there you go. What? I don't know what you're saying, but I will move on. All right, so this is the callback verification. So this is the header value that Twitch sends in the call to this event route. So it's going to send a header which consists of either a callback verification, which happens immediately after hold on, I just realized that my camera is running out of battery. 1 second. All right, we're good. All right, what was I saying? Okay, so yeah, in this route handler, in this route, we have a header coming from Twitch, which has one of two values. callback verification means that I just requested a subscription to an event on Twitch, and Twitch is saying, hold up a minute. Let me see if this webhook, if this callback is, if this URL is valid, and makes a call to the webhook that I provided with this value in this header. And I have to immediately respond to it with a 200 response, and I have to send a challenge value that comes in the request. I have to send that back in plain text. And when that happens, Twitch says, good, we're good. Please, bro, make a tutorial in Laravel API development, and you're putting that in 100, 100 loop. Sure, appreciate that. So here, in this place is where I should say update the account value status, the account status to enabled. And in fact, let me go and check what is the web, what is the view expecting. This is in Twitch. Account verification form, Twitch event subscription form. There you go. Verification pending, which I am modifying somewhere, I guess. Enable Twitch subscription, that's the button. This turns to false. Oh, I'm just setting it to false manually. So in this enable thing, this is a computed property in Livewire. I should make, instead of depending on this testing attribute that I have here, I should instead go straight to the database and retrieve the value from that column in the Twitch accounts table. Don't I have a test for this? I do. Twitch event subscription form test. Shows the subscribe button when the verification is pending. Okay, so I'm just testing for this HTML value there. Hides the subscribe button when the verification is complete. Okay, so we're gonna have to modify this and instead create an account record with a different status and check that instead. Let's do that actually. So if I run it now, make sure that it runs first. And it does. So we're gonna change it. So what I need in this test, first I need a record in the database. And that record is in the Twitch account table. And all I really need on that table is a status of enabled in this column here. I believe there are, yeah, Twitch account factory for user. This is actually happening on every test, so I don't need to create one actually. Let me go check that factory real quick. See what's the status of the column. Oh, it's okay. So I'm not providing one which means that it's taking the default on the column, which I believe is not subscribed. In fact, create Twitch account stable, and the default for the status is not connected. All right, how do we change that? So this will give me an account. That account has a default value. So I think what I should do is say this account status equals enabled. That should give me the requirement. Of course, I need to save this back to the database, so I can say this account save. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm here for all of the questions, and no question is useless. Don't worry about it. I'm here for you, not otherwise. So ask away. Now, I could always do this in one line by saying update, but these two lines also work. Why did the artist always want to paint Latino? Oh my goodness. I thought it was a question that you had, like a genuine question. But I forgot that sound. I have it. I need a sound on my soundboard. I take it back. There are useless questions. Sorry. All right. So yeah, I could do an update, but this one works too. Let's see if it works. If it works, I kind of prefer the update actually. So that will give me the value that I need, and I'm going to remove that line, which is actually setting the testing property that I was using before. And now I'm supposed to not use that, so I'm not going to set a value on that. And with that, this should fail. And it does. Basically, I'm asserting that I can't see this value. I should not see this HTML value in the output of the component, but it's showing up, so the test is failing. Now I have to go back and fix it. There is another thing. Let's just make this pass and we'll talk about it. There is one little problem there. Enabled. So I'm going to do it here. I'm basically going to say status equals, I think it belongs to the auth user, Twitch status, I believe. Let me verify. We go to the user model, and yeah, there is a Twitch relationship that points to the Twitch account. It has one relationship, which will give me only one result, and then I can check the status on that. So I was checking verification pending as false. Which means I can probably say status different than enabled. I can probably get rid of this property already. And then just use that. So I'm saying verification pending, it's when the status is anything else, anything other than enabled. So it's if it's different than enabled, that means we are needing verification. And if that's the case, then the button, if it is enabled, the button should not show. Let's see if that's the case. Run that test again. Failed. Oh, I think I know why. No, wait. Let me check the view real quick. Twitch event subscription form. If this verification pending, that means that this has to be true for the button to show and false for the button to hide. Why wasn't it false? Right, because the value is still okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I just need to go and update that value. It should be enabled since we are. No, but the test should set it as enabled, didn't it? Dang it! So I do need this. I'm thinking about the live database when I should be thinking in terms of test values. It is enabled. What the? Do I have it? Alright. If it's different than enabled, it should be false. Oh, wait. I didn't see it the first time. I'm checking for verification pending, the property, and I should check for this enabled, the computed property. Nope. Forgot to remove this. There you go. And we have ads. Just in time. So that means I can now go back, update the value in the live database, and the button should go away, given this test is now passing. The only problem with this is that if we were to subscribe the first time, the button would go away, meaning that we have a verification pending. Hold on a second. And we're back. Trying to figure out, did we have more than one? Okay, if this is enabled, and if verification pen, we're trying this again. How am I saying verification pending? Oh, I probably do need a property there because there is a couple of stages in this. The first time we click the button when we have not subscribed to any event, the first time we click that, then the value in the column is going to be we are waiting for Twitch to verify the webhook URL. That'll be the first stage, which means that we are going to show this message. And then once Twitch makes the call to the webhook and we re-update the value in the database saying we're cool, we are subscribed, we are enabled, then this will kick in, setting this to false and this to true, showing this message instead, and hiding the button. That is not happening and will not happen at first in real time unless I enable a poll to the database somehow. So at first it's going to show verification pending, and unless you refresh the page a few times, it's not going to show this. That's more of a nice to have for now, so I will leave it like that, not real time, and you'll have to manually refresh the page to see the change once you are verified. Later on, we'll see if we can improve that experience. So I am going to need this. Let's think about a test for that. And what is the value that we need to check for? Right now, we can probably see that in the database. Yeah, Twitch account, all this is the value that will signify a pending verification. So let's create a test that will make sure that the right message shows when a verification is pending. But this is going to conflict with the current value because right now enabled depends on the status and I'm looking for enable. We have a logic problem here. We're gonna have to do something different. This computed property is going to return true only if the value of the status column is enabled. So let me see. I know Eduardo would like that, so let's do a triple check. All right, so that's one computer. I think I'm gonna need another computed property. So there will be one computed property for verification pending, which will return true if the value of the column is exactly this. All right, let's think about the test first. I probably broke one already. Let's run the last one. I think I broke it. Yes. I don't know why I broke it. Hold on. That's it. I need to say if this is not enabled, well, no, if it is enabled. Right, if it's not enabled. I keep having problems with my logic here. If it's not, and if for some reason our connection is not enabled to Twitch, show the subscribe button. That will turn it into enable and then hide it. So it's a not. If it's not enabled, show the freaking button. That should do now. That is passing. All right. And then we need to work on this logic here. I need to create a test that will show me this part here, which means I probably need a computed property for verification pending. That will be, this will make this false. So I have to move this if into here. Or just an else if. We'll see. I need a test for this. I think that's a better wording. I'm gonna make another test. Let's call it shows. No, it shows the correct message. When the verification is pending. looking for this exact text. I'm going to use that in the test. Instead of assert CHTML, I'm just going to do assert C. I'm going to copy these 2 lines as well because I need to set a specific, what did you do? Yoink. Then 6 up and paste. I need to set this to a very specific value that we are going to get from here. This is the value. All right, so when this is the value of the status column, I need to see this in the page. Let's see if that's happening right now. I hope not. It isn't. Now let's make it so. Get over to the form. I want to create a new computed property. Call it verification pending. Which returns true if this is, again, that specific value. Go and grab it again. And now we can head over to the view. This turns into this verification pending, and we need to change this logic because maybe we use an else if here. If verification pending, then shows that. Let's try this. Is else if this enabled, then show that. Otherwise show this. And we can get rid of this top level if. Now it looks like this. So let's review. If the status is verification pending, show the first message. Otherwise, if the status is enabled, then show this other message. This other message. Otherwise, if none of those are true, then show this. So it's not it's neither enabled, not pending verification, nor pending verification. So that means that we are not subscribed to any Twitch events. Makes sense? Makes sense. Let's run that test again. And now it's passing. Cool. All right, now let's go to the database, the actual database. No, actually, let's test this. It has its value, which means that if I go to the page and I refresh, it's not happening. Nothing's happening. Why? Why are you showing this? that means that the button test is failing now. Should be failing now. Hide the subscriber. Let's run this one. Why are you passing? Well, the status, I'm setting the status as enabled. Means I need another test. Yoink. Paste. Put that there. I need a test that will ensure me that the button hides when the value of status is verification pending. So I'm gonna yoink that. Ooh, no, 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 no. Stop, please stop. What are you doing? Okay. That was a brain fart. I apologize. There. Hides the subscribe button when verification is pending. This should be failing right now. It is. Let's fix it. Do you think the Laravel PHP is performant and can scale? Yes. Absolutely. All right, so let's head over to the view now. Let's check this logic. I guess I just have to add an and here and not this verification pending. So we only show the button when we are not waiting for verification and we are not enabled. There you go. Compared to other backend languages like Go or Rust, of course, yeah. PHP is at the same level. I mean, I cannot tell you if one is more performant than the other. They can have areas of the language that the one is more useful than the other, but that's the same thing that can be said for any language. Languages have pros and cons. Do I think PHP is performant and can scale? Yes. Compared to Go and Rust, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know enough of Go or Rust to make a fair comparison. I only know about PHP. Go look at the benchmark. I really don't need to. I mean, there could be a benchmark that says maybe Go is more performant or Rust is more performant, but does that even matter? Which is the language that you know? Which is the language that you're more comfortable with? And what is the language that is needed for the task that you need to complete? In my case, I'm comfortable with PHP. That is the one that I know. That is the one that I like. And I pair that with Laravel, which gives me a lot of nice tools that will help me be better and faster at my development. Does that mean that because of a benchmark I'm going to switch to Go or I'm going to switch to Rust? No. If one is higher than the other, I still have my language that is PHP. I would love to learn Go. I would love to learn Rust at some point because the life is a constant learning process, and it is always important to familiarize with other technologies. Doesn't mean that a benchmark is going to make me change my mind about whether or not PHP is performant and can scale, because it totally can. It totally can. All right, now I should go back here, and if I refresh, go away. Awesome. Now let's go back to the database real quick and update this value, because I know for a fact that this is enabled. This didn't change. I don't like that. Status is enabled. Why are you not updating? Should be saying this. I need another test. I am not going to share the name of my company. I think that not necessary. It's just a US based company, and they work on that's enough, to be honest. And I don't know, I didn't understand the last question. Barcelona or Real Madrid. If that's a football thing or a football team, you're not gonna get an answer from me, because I do not follow football at all. Ask me about video games. Why is this not showing? I'm gonna make another test for showing this specific message. Pretty much like this one. Alright, let's run this one and see what happens. Fails. Now I need to find out why. Let's figure this out. So okay. Why? My countrywomen like those of the US just want to run your life. Well, maybe you're just not running with the right crowd over there. Or maybe just bad luck, but sure, you can give it a try. So if the value is enabled, this means that this is false, but this should be true. What is it showing? Can I see? Hey Voidware, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Is there a difference between raw string and yes, there is a difference. When you use this underscore, that is basically Laravel's locale or translation function, meaning that you can take this string and put it in a translation file, and whenever you put this exact string on every page and you have the ability to change the language of the page, and the translation file will look for the translation of that line or that specific text and put it in the right language. So it's basically an ability you have to create multi-language applications, and that is the underscore, a way to localize your web app. If you want to read more about it, just go to the documentation and look for localization, and that will tell you how to implement configuration files, publishing the language files, and how to replace strings in your views. I think we have ads, don't we? Yes. I'm gonna wait a minute and then we'll solve this little issue we have with the view, and most likely a logic issue on my part. So skill issue basically. I'm sure there has to be a way to make that work. Maybe an extra parameter? I don't know. There should be a way. It seems something very obvious to not have something in place. You can totally do that, you know? It doesn't have to be the exact string of read. You can have keys that will describe what is the text that should be in there. Yes, you can totally do that. I'm not very familiar with it because, myself included, I don't use that feature much, but I'm pretty sure it's there. So if the documentation should have information about that. Right, and you can use that language file in Laravel. Laravel also works with language files. All right, and we are back. Let's find out what's the issue here. Verification pending. This should be true, meaning that I should see this, but I'm not seeing it. What do you think about hexagonal architecture over regular MVC? I cannot answer that because I don't know about hexagonal architecture. All I know is MVC, and that has worked for me pretty well for the last 10 years. This is the one that I need, right? Wait, no. What is the test again? Enable. It's the enabled one. This is the one that's failing. Okay. Oh, is it enabled? Why is it enabled? Did I not change the value in the test? That's probably it, isn't it? Wait. No, it is enabled. What the freak? Okay, so that's enabled, which means they should be false. They should be true. Since I've learned, I only use Laravel for APIs and Nuxt. Now it's much easier for me to manage things. I used to struggle with MVC a little bit. I used to struggle with MVC a little bit with my previous job at Explore Media. Oh, I see. Okay. Only use Laravel for APIs and Nuxt for the front end. Next is that's React, right? Yeah, I think that's React. Oh, it's Vue. Okay. Have you tried Inertia? I don't know if that's gonna make it more complicated for you since you struggle with MVC, but that basically allows you to just not worry about APIs and the communication between your component on the client side and the backend, the Laravel's backend is just taking care for you. Why is this piece not giving me true? Why can't I see this part? Let's try something. Yeah, could be. What am I doing? Here. And if this is not exactly the nicest way to do this, but I just want to verify that why that enabled value is not giving me what I want. Oh, great, a bot. Here, let me show you out. Actually, I'm gonna do it here. Alright, that's basically the same thing that I was doing, but without the else if. Maybe that's what's screwing me over. I don't know. Let's give it a try. See if it works. Previous. I forgot to remove that. Remove it. There. Alright, that one's passing now. So if I go here. Refresh. The previous two. Wait. Why didn't it work with an else if? So confused. So this is false. Why are... This is evaluating to true somehow. And I don't like it. I don't like that. Why is verification pending evaluating to true? Yeah, let's do that. Oh, you're not gonna give me that? Why? Why? Is it this? No. I had a property for it. I forgot to remove that property. That was the whole thing. I had a public property named the same way, and Livewire did not. Was the public property was taking priority over the computed one, so that was the problem. Which means I can go and remove that DD. Run the test again. That one passes, and now I can go back here, refresh. That's the right message because it is enabled. Now I can go back and reformat that. Reformat this. Actually, let's just go back. Undo, 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 undo. Undo, undo, and that should do. Yes. And just to be absolutely sure, let's go to the test file and just run the whole thing. 2 failing. All right. Render. Why? Why? This one's failing. I don't know why. I know, right? Not the way that we expected either. That I expected. All right. Why is this one failing? I'm guessing because I'm not acting as. Yes, acting as is not there. Acting as this user. This is a protected route. And finally, it updates the account status to pending after event subscription request. Let's go and check that. Why? Undefined array key 0. That's interesting. Line 40. Oh, response data. Huh. Oh yeah, I broke that one actually. But just because I was treating the request payload differently from what it actually was. So in the test, it's not formatted correctly. Let's go and fix that. The way that the payload comes in from Twitch, I found out that this is actually an array. How do I surround everything in a... Never mind. I have to practice being motions again. The surrounding part is the one that I never remember. So yeah, instead of this being a straight up key value pair, it is an array with a key value pair. And now it's good. Yeah, I found that out live while I was trying to make it work, and I forgot to go back and change the test accordingly. So yeah, now it's good. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at it, but usually it's the surrounding motions that I never remember. All of the other motions I do practice regularly, except that one, and I always forget how to, for example, select a piece of text and then surround it in curly brackets or square brackets. I need to practice that. All right. So now that is solved, we can go back and fix whatever other test case is broken, because I'm pretty sure there are. In fact, we can easily see which ones are broken by just running pest. 7 failed. Ooh, that's bad. So basically, everything in the Twitch controller test and the Twitch event test. Oof. More than I thought there would be. Okay, we have some work to do. Sorry. Let's go and fix all of this. Twitch controller test cases. It handles the webhook callback verification request. Let's fix that one right away. So we're getting a 401 instead of a 200. Why is that? Making a post to Twitch event. Middleware is supposed to handle this. No, what happens is that I have a middleware in between I have a middleware active for these routes, which is supposed to take in... Wait a second. Yeah, this is just setting up the message ID, timestamp, and signature, and the type. So the middleware, which validation middleware, it's taking these 3 headers. This is just mimicking what's happening when Twitch makes a call to this URL, which is a webhook. Twitch is going to send these 3 headers. This signature header is an encrypted value that Twitch basically took these 2 values and created an encrypted value using a secret that I provided to Twitch and send that back in this header. And what I have to do is take the message ID, the timestamp, and the message body, which is the other third component, and then create the same encrypted value using my secret. And I have to compare the signature coming from Twitch with the encrypted value that I created. And if those don't match, that means that the call that came in is not from Twitch. So there are two options, whether we are missing a header or the verification failed. Let's find out which one is it. It's not that one. So we do have all the headers, but the values do not match. Yes. Now this happens in this verify signature method, which is going to, it's logging a bunch of stuff. I'm going to remove all of that. I don't need it. It might be this. Let me DD the body. This is something that I changed when I was testing live. Might be the problem. And that's the problem. Okay, so when I was testing live, I had a different way of getting the content from the request, and I was having problems because Twitch was sending a verification value that was different than the one that I was getting with the other method that I was using to get the request content. I was basically just getting it as JSON, I think. What happens if I do... I'm probably not sending the content proper, not setting the proper content in the request in the test. Let me see. Sending a post with a JSON encoded body. Why is that not working? Request. Can I do JSON instead? What do we get back from that? Nothing. Okay, so when I do request all, I get the value back. As an array. Could it be a problem with the content type? Or the fact that I'm decoding the body somehow. The body is supposed to be JSON. This body, which is in the before each. So the body is just a JSON string. What if I just send that in the test? Now it fails because argument 2 data must be of type array. Okay. How can I send a JSON body on a post request? I don't think that's going to do anything, but I'm going to try it either way. Empty array. Okay. So let's go back to the middleware again, and instead of request all, let's do request get content. Empty string. Gosh darn it. Sorry about that. Okay, so how do we make post work with a JSON body? JSON string body. Post JSON. Is that what I need? Post JSON? No. Visit the given URI with a post request expecting a JSON response. No, that's not what I want. Options, JSON, head, JSON. This, I think this is the one. Call the given URI with a JSON request. string method. That's gonna be post, the URI, the data, and the headers. Let's give that one a try. Test JSON. The method is going to be post, assuming that's the value. And then the URI. Wait, why are you complaining? What? Oh, this. There. Okay. Has to be an array. Got it. I think we have ads. Wow. Time flies. Nope. Actually, I never stopped for ads. Which is fine. Nobody complained. So this has to be JSON encode body. And then true for an array, associative array. Now what? JSON decode. Finally, okay. Now we're getting the expected value on the middleware, which means Twitch middleware, validation middleware. So now we're getting something out of get content, which is the actual JSON string in the body, which means if I remove that, the verification signature should work. So if I run previous and it passes. Now let's run everything again, because that was pretty much screwing up all of the tests. See how many failing now? 6. I have to make that same exact modification in all of the other tests. So, okay. It's not going to magically fix itself. So let's see. I think a faster way to do this, I'm going to just go back up here and then view, copy everything up until this. Yoink. 12 lines down, view up until there, and paste. And this should pass now. And it does. Okay, let's make that same change on all of them. View up until here, paste. Oh, come on. View up until here, shift 0p. There you go. View up until here, shift 0p. Need to do it here too. Let's see. Yep. Come on, dude. There. That's, I think that those were all. Let's run this file. Only one failed. Second to last. It handles the webhook call verification. Handles the webhook callback notification request. This one. Oh, I didn't have to change that one, I think. The reason being, I am creating the signature with an already encoded body here. So I can pretty much use post without having to re-encode the body as JSON. Just send it like that, and then both the signature and the body in the request will match. Sorry, not the body. The signature and the combination of the three values after encryption will match the signature. So let's run the whole file. What? Failed again? Come on, buddy. Why are you failing, buddy? No, wait. Of course. I do have to change it to JSON. Set the method as post. I do have to do JSON encode here to send a JSON string as the content. JSON encode. JSON decode, is it? No, encode. Decode. Jesus. No, I need an array. The encode. Why are you complaining? Add models varchar. What are you talking about? Oh, this one. Expected array found string false. Okay, one sec. I am overriding the body up here. Would you like me not to do that? Dude, seriously? What are you talking about? This is not a string. This is not false. This is a freaking array. Yes, that's exactly what I want. I want this to be a string. I'm defining the body as an array up here, and then I want to pass that as a string in the body. But it's IntelliFence is just shitting the bed and saying, no, that's not an array, that's a string. And how is it getting to that conclusion? I have no freaking idea. Not in this case. I'm using the JSON. I'm using the JSON method of the test or inside test because I need to make a post request, but the body of the request has to be a JSON string. If I do a post, I won't be able to then use get content in the actual implementation. And get content is what works when Twitch is making the request. If I don't do get content, then the body value is going to be different, and therefore the signature is not going to match with the value that I'm going to get when I encrypt the ID, the timestamp, and the body. So that was a problem that we faced Friday, and we managed to fix it. Now I'm just trying to make the test match the implementation. But JSON encode is not working. String given. How are you getting a string? Oh, it has to be an array. What am I doing? Pay attention, please. Pay attention, please. Wait a minute. Oh yeah. Nobody's shitting the bed. It was me. I'm the dumbass. Now it's throwing me a 500. Why? Why, ho, why, ho, why? Undefined array key user input. Oh, that was another thing that I changed. Okay, that's a good error. So I found out that I needed to use user input instead of reward prompt in the implementation. I end up using this, which is actually which is what has the actual message sent with the channel reward redemption. let's run the whole file now. Please scroll with it. Okay, so okay, this file is done. Twitch controller test. That's good. Now we need to move on to the Twitch event test. We have two files there. First one and last one. All right, middleware is the problem again. And I'm guessing the problem is, yeah, same thing. I have to do JSON here, method post, and the body is an array. That's fine. That's fine. What? Dude, did you not import that? Dude, come on, dude. Why don't you import dude? Now it's a 500 because I'm guessing what? Yes. User sewer, user input, word message. There you go. And then I'm gonna guess the last one is the same thing. Let's see. Why are you failing? Unable to find. Oh, okay. Okay. This is going to be fun. Oh. Create is not saving the file. Huh. Yeah, I have a problem with this one because this happens in Twitch controller test, right? Actually, yeah. This is in the event listener, so I'm gonna have to find a way of asserting that sync was called, because the problem here is that when I call HTTP sync, which is what works, this actually works. This actually put the response, which is a file, and saves it in storage, public path storage, and then the file name. Problem is, because I'm trying to assert that the file was created using the storage facade, the storage facade is faked, but it's not actually finding out the file was created because I didn't use storage to create the file in the first place. I used sync. So I'm gonna have to find a way of mocking the call to sync and use a fake storage safe there to save a file. Let's see. Event listener. Which event test is this one? Yeah. Am I faking HTTP? Yes. Assert send. Okay. I'm faking HTTP here. Let me see if I can find something in the documentation. HTTP client testing. Faking a response, that's fine. Faking specific URLs, that's also fine. Faking connection exceptions. Faking response sequences. Fake callback. Inspecting requests. If you require more complicated logic to determine what responses to return for certain endpoints, you may pass a closure to the fake method. This closure will receive an instance of the request and should return a response instance. Within your closure, you may perform whatever logic is necessary to determine what type of response is returned. Maybe we can use this. All right. Maybe let's do something like HTTP fake. But instead of an array, let's return a callback function that receives a request. I don't really care about the request in this case. What I do care about is, but I do need a file name. I need a file name. This is kind of complicated. My problem here is that the file name is generated inside the handle. I am never aware of the file name during the test preparation. My initial thought was I'm going to fake this, and within this fake response I'm going to use the storage facade to create a file, but I don't know the file name, and I never do. That's a dynamically generated file that happens at the time of handling the request, so I do not know that file name, therefore I cannot create a fake one. So I'm back to have to find a way to mock the sync method call in that facade. Is there a way I can fake or mock stuff in a facade? Mocking facades. Unlike traditional static method calls, facades, including real-time facades, may be mocked. This provides a great advantage over traditional static methods and grants you the same testability that you would have if you were using traditional dependency injection. When testing, you may often want to mock a call to a Laravel facade that occurs in one of your controllers. For example, consider the following controller action. We are making a call to the get method in the cache facade. We can mock the call to the cache facade by using the should receive method, which will return an instance of a mockery mock. Since facades are actually resolved and managed by a Laravel service container, they have much more testability than a typical static class. For example, let's mock our call to the cache facade get method. So should receive. That's what I have to use. So this, in my case, it would be HTTP should receive sync once with file name. I don't know that. Hold on. I'm not going to use this, but I can actually return something and return value. If you would like to spy on a facade, you may call the spy method on the corresponding facade. Spies are similar to mocks, however, spies record any interaction between the spy. Okay, so let's figure this out. I don't need to test that the file is created. That is a given, because the sync method is part of Laravel. And Laravel is a well-tested framework. So at this point, I have to decide what not to test. I don't need to test the functionality of sync. I just need to make sure that sync is called when I'm making a request. I need to test that sync on the HTTP facade is called when the event is handled. And that is enough for me to say, fine, if you called it, I know it works, because Laravel, again, is well tested. So I don't need to make sure that the call to the sync method actually worked. Makes sense. So I just need to do HTTP should receive sync once. You should not mock the request facade. I'm not going to. Okay. All right. See if that fixes things. Go back to the test. Actually, Twitch event test here. Let's things up. Search send. I don't need to test this. Method should receive does not exist. I'm gonna think about this a little bit more, but I guess in order for me to be able to keep moving forward, I'm not gonna let this specific test hold me back. I just need to make sure how to properly test the creation of the file when using HTTP sync. Typo, where? Dude, how do you... Wow. Still, I mean, it was a good catch. Still. Oh, wait, different error. Call to a member function with token on no. Oh. So we managed to mock this. But this returns no. Okay. Somehow I had another typo on that. Okay. We're making progress. How do I make it not return false or empty or null? Oh, scriptor, by the way. Hello. First time chat and you caught a typo. Thank you, and thank you for being here. I hope you're having a great day. How the hell do I make the mocked call to sync return be able to be chained? after. Anyone has an idea? I don't know. I'm trying to think what can I return, because this works. I mean, I can sync. I can fake the call to sync. But the problem is that I'm chaining it in the listener. So I'm calling sync and then calling with token on that. So I need a way for the sync mock to return an HTTP client again. Think. No. On string. Okay. Wait. Dude, come on. Can I do that? Apparently I can. So now static method HTTP client factory response and not existing in this mock object. Ooh. Receive a call to fake, but no expectation were specified. What? That's yeah, at this point I'm just throwing stuff at the wall without knowing what I'm doing. So I'm gonna leave that there for now. And I'm going to simply not do this. Yeah, I'm going to skip the whole test for now. And return function HTTP fake. Yeah, wait. Isn't that what I was doing? Call to undefined method closure with token. Yeah, the only thing that changed was instead of returning the actual fake class, I'm just returning a closure, and I still need to chain another method onto that return, onto this return, and it just didn't work. Yeah. So I'm gonna go back and we're gonna skip the test, knowing full well that the implementation does work. I just need to figure out a good test for it, because yeah, the problem is that we are using that sync method on the HTTP client, and I do not know how to properly test that. We're gonna leave that there for now. Oh, we broke something else. What did we... Oh my god, we fixed one thing in... Oh, okay. Now what? Switch controller test. Here we go. Oh, okay. I'm using that call. So I need to go back and undo everything that I did here. All right. There you go. The only thing that we're not testing is the HTTP, the call to OpenAI and the creation of the file afterward. That's the only thing that we're not testing. What's the functionality that surprised me when I knew existed in Laravel? I think what surprised me the most, and this was when I was actually learning about it, what surprised me the most was route model binding. That was one of the things that I had that wow moment, like the ability to pass a parameter, and just by type hinting that same parameter name in a controller, Laravel will just go into the database and fetch the value from the model that I'm type hinting and bring it back to me. That was one of the key moments when I thought this is next level. Okay. Faker? But Faker is not a Laravel thing. Faker is just a package that Laravel uses. But still, it's actually pretty impressive that you can generate just fake values for your tests. Okay, alright, so what do we do now? We have the tests. Everything is green. We know everything is working, and now we should try and create a new page with a table. And that table will show me all of the events that are currently stored in the Twitch events table. Which is currently 3. Now the message on these are not correct. That was the prompt. That's the good one. Okay, have a good day at work. That's cool. Okay, have a good day at school. Is a macro that sync method in HTTP? No, it's not a macro. It's just where is it? Twitch event listener. So usually the sync method is basically just a shorthand which is part of the HTTP client that allows you to take the response of a request that you know is going to be a file and just save that into a file, basically. I know for a fact that making a post to this endpoint, which is OpenAI. No, that's alright, don't worry about it. Making a post to this OpenAI endpoint, for a fact, the response of that is actually in file format. It's an MP3 file. And using sync allows me to just take that and directly put it in a file and just save it, which is very convenient. The problem is that it makes it hard to test because I have to somehow fake or mock that call, assert that the file was created, and also I need to, on that mock, be able to chain this with token method, which basically sets the authorization bearer header in the request, which is necessary. But I have confidence that it works because it's Laravel. This sync method is part of the Laravel framework. So I know it works. I just need to find a way to mock it to make sure that I actually call it during the request, during the handling of this event. But still, I think we can move forward for now. I'm gonna keep it in the back of my mind to make sure that I find a way to properly test this kind of interactions. But I think we can move on to the next phase. All right. I don't even know if I want to have a table per se. I've been watching the Primogen's stream, and in his effort to create like a interviewer with AI voices, the way that he implemented those cheater events into text to speech tells me that I should probably do something similar. It's just a bunch of cards. At the top will be the cards that are have not been played, and at the bottom the ones that have. I think it's a very simple and elegant solution. All right, let's see. First thing I need is do I want to start with this again? Probably do. If we're gonna stick with tests, I probably need a new test. Another thing that I could do is every single card can be its own Livewire component. That's alright, thank you so much, Arthur, and have a good night's sleep. Thank you for joining me, and see you around. Bye. Yeah, I could make each of those card components its own component so I can test them individually and just make sure that each card shows the right information. So I can test each component successfully. Individually, and maybe the list of those, I can just test the data that goes into the component. Let me check. Let me check. Check. Testing page contains a component. certain data from the view. This is useful. Yes. Yeah. Let's make a test. Let's make a test that to show all the Twitch events, Twitch TTS events. PHP artisan test. Sorry. Best test. This is going to be called show TTS. So show Twitch events. Yeah, I'm gonna skip the TTS in the name because it makes it hard to read. We have ads. There was another idea that I had that kind of fits into the same Twitch theme. Twitch combined with web page, combined with OBS, combined with live streaming. I saw a video of a guy who created Twitch overlays, just like the ones you see when someone subscribes, for example, that I have the alerts. Those alerts are overlays. Those overlays in turn are web pages. So maybe when I have all of the showing things in a web page, I can make another version of the same web page that plays the things, but I can make it be like an overlay that is pretty much at this that sits below the stream screen, like maybe a lower third, or even just something that a web page that has an HTML element that reacts to a Twitch event, and when that happens we can use reverb. Maybe when an event of those happen, an HTML element animates from the bottom of the screen and shows the message and auto plays the audio file, shows the username, the user avatar, the text message, and at the same time plays the message from the event. And we're back. So there might be a way for us to create. There is a way actually. I just need to figure out how does an overlay in OBS handles transparency. That'll be the whole thing. Because if I can create a web page that has nothing in it, and then an HTML element animates from the bottom, like just pops up with the text-to-speech message and all the user information about the event, etc., plays that event, plays that message, and once it's over, it just animates out. There has to be a way to do that. We will find out once everything is taken care of. But yeah, that's my other idea that I have. Something that is automatic, something that I don't need to be looking at the website to trigger myself. I just create a website and create like a browser overlay for OBS that it's automatically visible at all times and simply reacts to events on its own. All right, so show Twitch events. Oh, and if I wanted to have more control over it, I don't know if this is possible, but is there a way for me to configure Stream Deck? Is there a way to send an action? Filter, transition, chat message, shield voice mod, random action. Go to page. No, this is navigation. Stream Deck, timer, sleep, soundboard. No. System. Hotkey. Website. Open URL. How did this look? That's it. I could even create an action on my Stream Deck that sends a GET request in the background to a webhook or a URL of my choice, and that will trigger the next. I will handle that in a way that will trigger the next message in the queue, so that I have control over when to play the text to speech message. I can have a queue. You can users can send their events, their cheers, or redeem their points, etc., and everything will go in a queue. And if I want to play the next one, I just hit a key on my Stream Deck, make a request to my application, and that will trigger an event. And if I have an overlay, then that overlay will. Yes, that's it. That's it. We're gonna take some time to do this, but it will be awesome. Awesome. I will make it my task to get this done someday this year. Well, within the next 2 months. We have to do it. It's a great idea. I have not seen anyone do this. All right, so show Twitch events. Test. All right, let's create a smoke test. Let's say Livewire test show Twitch events class assert. Okay. Also, this is. I'm going to need the Twitch controller test. No. Twitch event test. Where's the act? Oh no, is the Twitch event subscription form test. I need these these 4 lines. Yoink. Because this page is going to be protected by authentication. Do I need that Twitch account reference? Probably not. I'm going to comment this and just keep the user. And then say Livewire, sorry, acting as this user, and then test the show Twitch events class and assert that it renders successfully. Obviously, this is going to fail right away because the class user is not found, but that's not the error that I'm looking for. This is the one that I want. Unable to find components, show Twitch events. Let's fix this. PHP artisan make component, no. Make Livewire show Twitch events. Do I want to put it in a folder? Do I keep it in the root? So far, everything is in the root folder inside Livewire. I should put it in a pages subfolder. Yeah. All right, it's created. Now let's go back to the test. Make sure that we import that class. Like so, run it again. And that's good. Now, next thing I want to make sure is that when I render the page, when I render this component, it has the data that I need. And that's already exemplified here in this test. I just need to create 2 records, 2 Twitch events, Twitch TTS events, event records in the database, and then make sure that the view of the component has those records. Yeah, it shows all Twitch event records. Let's see, we need the factory for Twitch TTS event factory. Let's create 3 of those. This is probably going to fail because we don't have anything in that factory. That's correct. Let's start faking some stuff up. What do we have in this table? Just a message and a file path for now. I'm thinking about the relationships here. This table right now exists on its own without being related to anything. I don't know if I should make a relationship between it and the Twitch account. Oh, Sadbek, hello there, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining me, man. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you for being here. I probably will need some way of tying an event to an account, but not right now. Because as it is now, the only person accessing this panel, it's going to be me, and it's going to be connected to my account. At some point, maybe we can open source this and have people use it for their own streams. But at that point, again, everything will be tied down to a single account. This is not a multi-tenant operation or a multi-tenant application. All right, let's leave it like that. So message, let's fake a sentence here. And then for the file path, let's fake a file. Okay, back to the test. So create 3 records, and let me check the example here. I do need all of the posts. The server view has posts, function posts. Okay. All right. So we can say Livewire acting as this user. Test show Twitch events class, and then the assertion would be assert view has what? Yep, assert view has let's call it events. Let's return count events equals 3. Let's run this. Dude. What do you mean? Database factories Twitch TTS event factory not found. Really? I just saw it. Oh, I know why. If I remember correctly, I made the terrible mistake of naming that model Twitch TTS event in plural. Heresy. Horrible. Disgusting. But then I changed the name of the class and forgot the factory. I think we can solve this easily by just changing the name of the factory as well. So database, factories, Twitch TTS event. We name that to event factory. Change the class name here too. And then go back to the test. And that should work, I think. Let's see. All right. New error. Argument 1 value must be of type countable array, null given. Meaning, the parameter that I'm getting in this assert view has events is giving me null because the component has no property called events. And it's not an array, so it's null. Let's start by going into the show Twitch events page or component, and let's add a public events. No. Twitch TTS event. No, an array. Public events. By default, this is going to be an empty array. Let's see if that changes the error. All right. Failed asserting that false is true. That's a very kind of cryptic, isn't it? But basically, that means that if I go to the test again, this return value is returning a boolean, and it has to be true in order for the assertion to pass. But right now, the count of events is 0, therefore returning false, and therefore the expectation is failing. So, to fix this, we're going back to the component. We are going to use a public function called mount, and in the mount function we're going to say this events equal Twitch TTS event all. Bring everything, put it in there, run the test again, and it's passing. Now, that is one part of the test. I should probably test that the page has a component, but I am not sure how this is going to work when the page has many components. Well, it kind of works because it only has to exist on the page, even though there will be many instances of the same component, because it's going to be a list of cards. If every card is going to be a Livewire component on its own. So as long as the component exists on the page, I think the test will be successful. So let's create one test to make sure that within the component, not only we have the data that we need, but we also have an instance of the component that we need for that data to be displayed properly. It contains the Twitch event card component. Ooh, component function. All right. So basically we just have to make a get request. Okay, cool. All right. Ouch. Can I do that in this fashion? Let's say that I create another set of events. I mount the component and can I assert wait, third C Livewire? Can I do this? And the component name will be Twitch event card. Twitch event . Yeah, I can actually do it. So it failed to contain the Twitch event card. It's not exactly what I needed, but maybe it will work. Okay. In order to pass this test, all I need to do is render a Twitch card component into this page. But we're going to take a detour here, because first I want to make a smoke test for that card component, making sure that it will render successfully. We will expand on those tests for the card component later, but for now I will create a test that will make sure that I can render that component, and then I will render that component into the parent component. This is called Twitch event card test. Yes, Twitch event card test. It's a new component. Let's go to that. In this case, I don't care about authorization because this is a standalone component, it's not a page. Therefore, I don't really need to know if the user is logged in or not. So just test. Twitch event card class, and then assert. Okay. Obviously, the component doesn't exist, so PHP artisan. Make Livewire. Where do I put this? I'm gonna put it in the root. Twitch event card. Go. And that's good. Now let's try and put that component into our show Twitch events component. Doesn't have to be a list. It just has to be there. Which means we can probably just tap into this show Twitch events.blade.php view, and let's change this, and we have ads. Time really flies when we're having fun, because it seems like there was an outbreak like 5 seconds ago. In reality, it's almost like every 25 minutes, something like that. But time flies like this. I really hope you guys are as excited as I am at the idea of creating my own Twitch overlay that lives in a Laravel application using Livewire and Reverb to react to Twitch events. That sounds cool, to me at least. Any gamers in the house? Anyone playing games this weekend? If so, let me know, either in chat or in the comments. What are you playing? Love talking about video games. I'm getting into social sandbox MMOs. Latest one that I'm playing right now, Guild Wars 2, is the only one that actually caught me, and it actually has been fun so far. Maybe one day I'll play it on stream when I have my beefy PC. Beefy. And we're back. Let's Livewire this component here. So Livewire, Twitch event card, still close. Boom, boom. Easy as that. Wait, I'm running the wrong test. I have to go to show Twitch event test. and run this one. Boom! Not as easy. Still not showing. I guess I can't do. Okay, let's try and do it the way that the example was showing me, with a GET request. Right now we just have dashboard, auth, redirect, auth, callback, rewards. This one has to go at some point. This was just testing stuff. Events. Yeah, let's call it events. Alright, we make a get call to that, and we should see the component on the screen. Run previous. Okay. Not working. I get the wait. Oh, I guess it's not exactly the error that we want to see because we don't have a route. But if we, I bet if we do without exception handling, like so, run that again. Well, yeah, that's the one that I want. Not found HTTP exception. I got confused because of this route. This is already set up in the .env file as my app URL because I was testing with Twitch live and my site was exposed. So that's fine. That's okay, I guess. No, it's not. Well, actually it is. This means there is no route. Okay. Let's fix that in web.php. Let's put it here. Route get events. And this is going to be a full page Livewire component. Therefore, we are going to use show which events.class. No, don't do that. Oh, okay. Authentication exception. That. What? Hold on. I thought it was authenticating. I was not. Can I do this? Missing layout exception. Okay, so I thought as much. I guess. We should have a layout for Livewire components. When I installed it wasn't Breeze, it was, I'm using Jetstream. When I installed Jetstream already comes with a set of Livewire components because I chose the Livewire flavor. This can be seen in, hold on, let me check something real quick. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I think I'm. It is using some Livewire components. The layout is here. There is a way for me to configure Livewire so that it will by default look for the layout in this folder. Let's see if I can find it again. It should be in config, maybe Livewire. No. App. No. Bootstrap. No. Let me see. Configuration. Layout files. Global layout configuration. To use a custom layout across all your components, you can set the layout key in the config livewire.php to the custom layout relative to the resources views. I don't have this file, config livewire. Can I create it? That should be in resources views. Layouts. Layouts app. Let's see if that changes the error. Run previous. Yes. We're back to this. It contains the Twitch event card component. One second. I want to test something out real quick. If I go to the Twitch card component, Twitch event card. Sorry, the view. Twitch event card. No, still failing. Now, what happens if I navigate to that route right now? There is my content. So the component is rendering within a full page component. So the card component is rendering within a full page component using the right layout, but the test is not passing somehow. Let's figure out why. The simplest Livewire test you can write is in an assertion is asserting that a given endpoint in your application includes and successfully renders a given Livewire component. Livewire provides an assert C Livewire method that can be used in any Laravel test. Yeah, still. I'm curious. It doesn't work with nested components. Assert C Livewire will only check for the parent. The parent never renders the child. All right. Which I guess is fine. We are testing that we can render the parent component, the page component, with this here. Assert OK. We assert that the page component, a full page component, has the data that we need, and that's fine. And then that's all it has to do. Moving forward, the rest of the tests lie on the actual card component. That the card component can show data based on the data passed in, which is going to be each event card is going to receive an event model. So I just need to test that I can render the data from that event model in the card. So it's more compartmentalized. So let's test that. Testing properties. Yeah, can set the title. We have a post, we test that, passing a post into a component will set the title correctly. In this case, I'm going to test that if I pass in an event to my event card component, the message will be set appropriately. This will be done in the Twitch event card test. We need to create an event. We can borrow that from the other test. In this case, we only need one. This has to be authenticated, so acting as. Ooh, we need the acting as. We need the user from the other test. Let's grab this. Dude, stop. There. Now the parameters, I'm going to pass in an event into this component, and it's going to be the event that I just created. Assert C, was it? Let's see. Yeah, assert set actually. Assert set message. And the value is going to be whatever comes in the message, sorry, the event message. Actually, the assert set doesn't really match what I want to do. I guess the assert set, let me read on this. Often, Livewire components receive data being passed in from a parent component or route parameter. Because Livewire components are tested in isolation, you can manually pass data into them using the second parameter of the Livewire test method. Yeah, that's cool. The underlying component being tested will receive the post through its mount method, or only you don't need a mount method if your public property is called the same name as the parameter. So you can sometimes you can have no mount. See, that's what I was thinking. I don't need a public title. I'm not gonna have a public title property. I'll probably just access the post directly when I'm rendering the template, which means what I need is actually an assert C. I just need to say that I just need to see the same message rendered in the component. There is no key needed. So assert C message. Again. Always the imports. One day I will learn. Maybe when I move completely to my Vim setup, coming soon, I will be able to see those errors more clearly. Maybe. All right, that's what I wanted to see. Now let's fix that. We're going to very simply display the message from the event in the template without caring about any formatting at all. So Twitch event card. For that, we're just going to maybe put it in a P tag or something like that. And just say event message. Obviously, this is wrong because if I run this again, that event property does not exist in my component. So Twitch event card, let's add that property in. It's going to be a public Twitch, and by type hinting the property, Livewire will understand that this will need route model binding, something similar to route model binding. Twitch TTS event without a mount. If I do it without a mount, and if I pass an ID, the ID of the Twitch TTS event as a parameter or as a prop to this component, the record will be fetched automatically without you having to create a mount and then do a search in the database. No, just leave it to Livewire. Magic. So we have some rudimentary foundation, some scaffolding, let's say, to showing cards in components, in Livewire components, and a full page Livewire component to show all of those cards. Give me 1 second, hold on. Oh, almost forgot to unmute. So yeah, we have basic testings for our components. We are going to build upon those and make something that looks pretty or acceptable. At this point, it's just a prototype. We're going to build a prototype that we will be able to use. So we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that today, though. It's already 3 hours and 40 minutes, and I'm feeling a little tired, so I'm going to take a break here. I'm going to snooze that that ad, and yep. Let's continue on Wednesday, and we will build some nice UI that we will use to be able to see all the events in the page. Sounds cool? Good. All right. Thank you so much for everyone who joined. As always, what a pleasure to have you here. If you found any of this helpful, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, follow me on Twitch if you're not doing so already, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. If you're on Twitch, stand by. We are rating, I think you know who. Let's see. Moo, where are you? There you are. Yep, we're going over to Moo Hoodles. Always entertaining, always a great time. Very informative. Thank you everyone so much. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.